Okay guys, so continuing here with the posing for our character. I think, let me see, I will raise the arms like this, and now I want to rotate it. Yeah, let's first start to pose the legs as well, because I actually want to see the pose that I'm thinking. So mask the region for the legs, and then blur. Before blur, you can also set a polygroup for this, and maybe correct the polygroup with more polygons that you think is on the region that you want to change. Oh yeah. So set a polygroup for this, and well, let's add those two also. Good. And now let's do the same for this leg. You can even hide this other and make an easier polygroup for this. I'm using the lasso. Just like this. And then let's go back and add those polygons here in the middle also. Oops. And then hide this one that I don't want and make a polygroup for everything here. Okay, that's it. It should be equal to both sides. I'm gonna add also this one. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter exactly the borders that we are creating the polygroup, but just because we're gonna blur the mask, so you can click over the polygroup you set, and then once you blur the mask with this one, and you can be less concerned about this border for the polygroups. Okay, so here I'm gonna make like this, and I'm gonna think the anchor point around the middle of this region, close maybe to the great trochanter. Let me see. Maybe something like this. All right, and now let me mask also this region. Notice that I'm masking until the joint ligament, the region of knee. So go to a masked center, and once again position it around to the knee. So check if it's on the middle into all the angles, and place the gizmo into this orientation, like the feet and the knee should always have the same orientation. Okay, so we're gonna bend this like that. Let me see if I can use like that. and bend, and here we're gonna have to correct. As you can see, we deform it a lot, this region, so I can move just a little bit, and once it has deformed too much, maybe I can set a polygroup for this, becomes easier. Not this region, I want to grow one more and set the polygroup here, just in the middle of the knee. And from here with move brush, you can correct the thickness for the knee. Before we continue with this posing. Okay. After we're gonna have to correct more things over there, but at this time, like, this is gonna be okay. And then click to select this mesh. Here actually the mask is starting here, so I'm gonna invert the mask and do a blur over here, and then invert the mask once again. Go to unmasked center, clicking here and position it. Place the gizmo in the right orientation. Look to the orientation of knee to the feet. Place into the middle, right in the middle, and yeah, that's it. That's nice. And this leg, I'm not really sure of what I'm gonna do, but let me see. I want to change a little bit more like this. I know if the character has jumped, maybe this region of the feet would turn. So, oh sorry, I set a polygroup for this region, and then I can use this and blur the mask. Go to unmasked center. Oh no, go to unmasked center. No, I won't blur the mask. I will just use this first. Go to unmasked center and position it around the ankles. Those two bones that we have here will be the anchor point for this region of the feet. Position it around the center. Check the actual orientation to place in the same orientation of knee, and then you go into this Y axis and bend it. Okay. Here I'm gonna rotate a little bit more, and into this arm at the back I'm gonna prepare a punch, and this other here I will maybe close the hands just, or I don't know, I will think on some gesture. And after, I think I'm gonna correct some shapes on the head also, and yeah, let's continue. All right, actually this leg, and also we have to unmask everything here. Let me position it into the anchor point. I'm thinking that this leg should be more like here. Oops, don't forget to do a blur to the mask. More like this. Yeah, and now let's start to make, let's see what we have into the last subdivision. Yeah, it's all very very distorted. Correct here the external cladomastoid. I'm still not really sure about this head orientation. Maybe I will change a little bit more. And yeah, let's go back here. Position to the anchor point. More like this. I want to turn more the body like that. And now I think the most work will be on this arm here, because we're gonna have to rotate this a lot and it gonna deforms a lot. Because I want the orientation of biceps very pointing to the top. So let me try to keep the maximum without distorting too much. Let me see. Here I'm trying to correct the shape of the biceps and keep the acromion into this region. And here we're gonna have less volume on the pectoralis major because it has stretched to the top. Yeah, let's bend the forearms. Let me see. I'll create a polygroup. Good. And then click over this region, go to a masked center, place the gizmo right into the middle, correct the axis, here we're gonna need some blur, but I will blur the mask into this side. Blur and then invert the mask again. So you have to go very subtle movements, you know, you change some part and then you correct the shapes. Let's raise the subdivision so we can check if the bending is working in the right position. Yeah. After we're gonna have to correct every anatomy, but it's working good. So here I'm gonna bend until I think I want to sharp the mask a little bit, so I clicked over the masked region here with Ctrl and Alt and then invert the mask again. Maybe yeah, more like this. I think it's getting closer. Now we have 19 degrees. I want even more. Maybe we can use a very subtle inflate. and think on the arms bending more like this. They're getting closer to what I want. Yeah. I think it's more like this. And here, the forearms, you can mask the middle like that, or even just a little bit more, like this, and then you're gonna blur the mask. So the forearms, when you're going to make any rotation, you have to blur it into a little bit more of the middle, and then blur everything. Blur the mask, and then position the gizmo over the center and all the axes, and then you can rotate it. We're gonna have to correct a lot of this volume. Like this. Okay. Here with move brush and backface masking, we can correct this overall volume by giving thickness. Let me see if we raise the subdivisions, what we're gonna have. Yeah, here it actually stretched too much the tendon of triceps. Here I have to correct the glutes. And you know, I think I want to bend a little bit more the overall torso. More like this. And the arms should go more it's too much on the for the front. I will want to bring more over the back, so we're gonna give more force, like if he was charging the punch on his back, you know. Always try to have a clean middle axis. So here we are seeing that curvature that I said. Actually, the legs, I think I'm gonna rotate a little bit. More like this, maybe. The head, let's make a polygroup for the head. Yeah, better. So select the head, do a blur And also if I do like this, I think we'll have more strong feeling. You have to test. Yeah, I'm liking more. But all the spectralis, I want to stretch it. Let's mask the head so it won't affect anything. And here with the move brush, I'm grabbing more to the back. Let's have a look into the last subdivision. We're gonna have to correct many things on that part. And you can see that posing, when it comes to pose, there is no other way, especially anatomy, when it's a model very with many parts shown like that, you're gonna have to change a lot the model when you are doing this posing. Take care, pay attention to not deform too much the head, because the head will be movable mass that it's stiff. And also let's close the hands to make the punch. So let's continue over the next lecture, okay?